Hey everyone, welcome back to the OurSociety Experiment and this candidate instructional video. In this instructional video, I want to talk about the societal value matching, what it is, why it's important to your success, and how to answer the questions. So when you log into your dashboard, right away you'll see that this top gray bar here says My Societal Values. It'll give you your badge. This is a leveled badge kind of to gamify the experience so people continue to earn levels as they answer more questions. This taskbar here will tell you your progress against the total amount of questions. So this will unlikely fill up very far for you in the long term. In the short term, you could totally answer all the 500 questions, but we do allow citizens to submit more questions, so that number will always grow exponentially. In this section right here, this question answered section, this will list the amount of questions you have answered already. Progress by category is something that we need to work on. In the immediate beta, it will not be functional, but then it will also, in the future, show you how many questions you've answered broken down by the exact category. Now, when you're ready to answer questions, the first thing we do is click this large purple button that says Answer Some More Questions. But before we do that, let's talk about why the questions are important. OurSociety is a free and open election campaign platform is designed to maximize your exposure for no money, for free. In order to do that, we have to provide value to the citizen users. Part of the value we provide is to offer them a very robust experience when it comes to learning more about their candidate options. But we do that in different verticals. Through your articles and videos, people who are interested in politics and very interested in your policies, plans, and visions can have a very deep experience, learning a lot about you directly from you. However, all of us are familiar that statistically, the majority of people do not participate in the system, especially on a local and any election. It's not a presidential election, really. So we want to give these people the ability to make better decisions and get to know you as a candidate and your vision of the future without having to invest time or much effort. And the way we do that is through our societal value algorithm. They tell us about themselves, and then we match them to you and other potential candidates based on how you align with that individual citizen. Both you and the citizen users will be answering from the same pool of questions. It is strongly recommended that you answer a minimum of 50 questions, but the more questions you answer, the better value matching you will receive to individual citizen users as well. So with that said, let's click Answer Some More Questions. The way the questions are broken down is they are a 5-option question going from a strongly agree to a strongly disagree with an importance multiplier. So in terms of the algorithm, each of these has a value and this has a multiplier, and this is how we determine the data-driven matching that we do. Now, the questions are formatted as follows. Here in this purple text right here, you see the actual question or statement. They can be statements in this case they are a statement. Corporations are people. So let's say, for example, I would say I strongly agree or disagree, and it's very important to me that corporations are not people. Now, obviously we know that Citizens United did not make corporations people, but it's a very common phrase to equate spending power with free speech. So this is a question that someone would answer, and then we would just answer it that way. Now, let's say I didn't want to answer this question for whatever reason, I wasn't comfortable answering this question. In the upper right-hand corner, I can hit Answer Later. So I can hit that, and it'll shrink the question away, so I don't have to see it. Kind of bookmarking it for future use. You can always revisit and answer more of your questions later. Let's say that this question was inappropriate. Let's say it was slanderous against someone. Let's say it was off-topic and not issue-based. That could happen because we allow citizens to submit questions to the platform. And in the beta, our team is going to monitor them, and in the future, we're planning on automating that experience. However, maybe something slips by that some citizen finds offensive. Well, we want them to let us know, so they have this option to report the question if they find it inappropriate. For you answering your questions, we list 10 questions at once. So you can scroll down and see there's 10 at once, but maybe you feel more comfortable answering one at a time. This drop down up here in the top right-hand corner, you can select single questions, and you'll answer one question at a time. Now let's go back to the batch. So what I'm going to do, one final thing before I move on answering them, is you can see that each question has categories. So in this case, this is a law question. It's related to law. I'm not even reading these. I'm just going to answer them very quickly. This specific question is related to news and information. And this is important because this is going to show you, and we're going to cover this next, is that when we show the citizens you're matching and how you match them, we provide an aggregate match, a total match. Then we also provide a category breakdown should they be interested in seeing that category breakdown. So I just answered 9. I'm about to answer my 10th question. I'm going to hit submit my voice because I'm done answering my questions. And this is going to bring me back to my dashboard. Now, I'm just going to go to my profile real quick just to show you what's on my profile and what you can expect. So the way it breaks down, and if I'm logged in as a politician looking at my own profile, so it's a little, there's a little information missing. However, when a citizen looks at this, right away they see the value match. So this highlighted value match is the aggregate value match. This is the total direct match that you have to that person. But then we break down the categories even more in depth. On the left hand, they'll see the top 4 categories that you agree upon. On the right hand, they'll see the bottom 4 categories. Now, keep in mind, this could be something like, for example, if you're super aligned with someone, your least similar might be an 80% match in specific areas. Or it may be very low compared to who's viewing your profile. And then the citizens will have a button here where they can click and see all 27 categories, how it's broken down. And then we have a virtual ballot that we're going to implement where when they go into the voting booth, they load it up. They see your name, they see your face, they see their aggregate match, and they can click it to break down the match while they're in the voting booth to kind of determine which issues are most important to them. For you or the citizens, if they want to learn more about the value matching, they just have to click this Learn More button here, and it takes them to one of our FAQ posts about the social value matching. Now, one thing that's very important that you should understand, your question answers are anonymous. The citizens cannot see your direct answers. And of course, it goes without saying, but our site says a lot, we do not ever sell information. We do not give preference of information to any sort of person or organization of any kind. Our society is about creating a free and open election campaign platform. We are a non-profit, so there's no motive there. And that is essentially it. Again, I cannot stress this enough. You should take the time to answer questions in detail. This is a huge value add for many of the unengaged voters that our site is focused on engaging in our civic process. By making the process easier and more convenient than ever before for them, we're offering them a really true value add. And that is a huge benefit to you as an OurSociety candidate. If you have any questions about the social value matching, just email info@oursociety.org.